morning everyone, once again from Peru. Today we're in the old city of Cusco, which was the capital of the Inca Empire. We arrived here about 3 days ago. We flew in from Lima and it's been a bit of a rough start because here is high elevation. It's around 3,400 meters and in Lima we were at sea level. So yeah, we've been feeling a bit of altitude sickness. We've been at higher elevations than this before when we did some trekking in the Himalayas, but there we were gradually going up. So yeah, we didn't really feel it that much. Yeah, it's been pretty tough, mainly just like headaches and fatigue. Even now we're not 100%, but yeah, I think we're good to go out and explore. And we're staying at a pretty nice apartment. It's $28 a night, so really good price. Got a big kitchen area, been doing some cooking. And they have the coca leaves there. This is what they use in this region for altitude sickness. So we've been making some tea with that. They even have some tea bags and some coca sweets. So even now just talking, even not walking, I'm still feeling a bit out of breath. And the bedroom's really nice too. Gets to around 8 degrees Celsius at night, so pretty cold. But the blankets are really thick. We don't even need to use all the blankets, so yeah, it's really nice and warm. And then here's the little bathroom. Got warm water, so that's pretty good. Carl's had it even more rougher than me because you had food poisoning too.
Food poisoning. Right when I arrived, like a few hours after the flight arrived here, I started feeling very strange, like super nauseous, and then I had like vomiting and diarrhea during the entire night. But luckily it only lasted for 2 days, but I think it made me feel a bit worse for the altitude as well. But hopefully today we can explore.
So the area that we're staying in is the historic center. So you just get nice old buildings everywhere, the old streets. But the layout of the city also makes it difficult with altitude sickness because it's kind of all on hills. So you gotta walk up and down, so even more tiring. So we're just making our way to the main big square, which I think is just down there. But scattered around the city, there's all these nice little squares, hangout areas. All the buildings look beautiful too. All very old looking. Haven't seen any modern buildings whatsoever. And this is the main square, Plaza de Armas. We did pass it quickly yesterday. So scattered around there's like restaurants and cafes. You can have like a nice meal on the second floor. Lots of vendors around here, lots of people offering massages. I guess because people have sore muscles after the treks. They're everywhere.
And once again, this is a very clean park, just like the ones we saw in Lima. Very well taken care of.
Yeah, it seems like Peru do a good job of that. Sometimes we go to places in South America and Central America, and even the places that are for tourists are kind of like dirty, full of trash, but not around here. And I mentioned that it gets to around 8 degrees Celsius at night, but in the sunny weather during the day it's around 20. You're going to be taking that coat off now.
Yeah, because the sun is very, very strong. So we had to pass some sunscreen because of that too. And it gets hot, like you said.
And just like Lima, it seems very laid back, which is kind of surprising because it's the main tourist spot. But here in Lima, it seems very quiet. Not even that many people around. Looks nice with the mountains in the backdrop.
Yeah, I wonder how people who live there can go up every day. It's like, I'm sure they are used to it, but for me it would be like that right now.
Yeah, I mean absolutely scattered with houses, all these mountains around Cusco. statue at the top of the fountain looks cool. I guess that was one of the leaders of the Inca Empire at the time. You also get a lot of vendors here that I think come from the villages outside of Cusco, selling different souvenirs. And on this side we have the most famous cathedral of Cusco, built around the 16th century, probably right around the time when the Spanish invaded here, took over. Got another cool one there too. I like the colors.
Yeah, kind of like maroon.
Like sandstone or something.
Sandstone. It's really beautiful. Yeah, the scenery is very nice with the backdrop and all the historical buildings.
It also blends well with the tiled roofs, because it's kind of like a similar color to the churches and cathedrals, orangey brown. So on this little road here, we have one of the best preserved Inca walls around Cusco, and then the Spanish built on top of it. But yeah, apparently this is from the Incans. Wow, looks perfect. Perfectly square and rectangular. That's probably why it's still standing. So I think the entire road, all this part below, is the Inca wall. So we're going to check out the main market here now, called San Pedro. Is there anything you want to buy?
Yeah, maybe some souvenirs, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna buy today because we're also going to visit some other areas, and I know that they sell souvenirs, so yeah, we'll check the prices and stuff, and maybe I'll buy something.
And I'm looking for a jumper because I don't really have any clothes for colder weather. All I have is a hoodie. So I think there's a lot of clothes here. Here's the traditional style, nice and colourful. Have to see what kind that I'm gonna get. Ah, so there's also food in here.
Yeah, I thought about eating here because you can find very cheap options for lunch, but since I'm not feeling very well with my stomach, I thought it's probably not a good thing to do.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the hygiene is in these markets. Might be safe, who knows. Yeah, it looks like they sell a bit of everything here, by the looks of it. Lots of tea, herbs, coffee. Yeah, these were the food places that Carol was talking about. It's probably nice and affordable here. Chicken soup.
8 soles for chicken soup.
8 soles. Nice.
I love the colors.
Yeah, me too. Hey, that's a nice jumper. So you always see the ponchos in the stores here. I'm not gonna get a poncho though. I just want like a normal jumper. Really nice designs though. Does it feel comfy?
Yeah, it's comfy. Not very
Thick.
thick, no, but...
Hola, mister.
Hola.
Hola.
40 solo.
40?
40 soles.
Todos?
Sí, todos.
Maybe I'll go for this one, 40 soles.
It's really cute.
Es de aquí material, es alpaca con lana. Mixto.
Alpaca con lama.
Con lana. Mixto.
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 How's the size?
Yeah, I think it's right. Your size, yeah.
My size?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love it. It's really
Yeah, I like
cute.
it. It's comfortable.
Turn around. Yeah, I think it's a
Yep.
good size.
I think I'll go for it then. So that's cool. At least I got a jumper. Even outside of the market, there's clothes stores everywhere around here. People selling all sorts. So when I was reading online about Cusco, one of the good things that people were saying about this place is how traditional it still feels. Doesn't feel like super touristy, still very local vibe. I haven't seen a McDonald's yet.
No, but they do have McDonald's and Starbucks.
It's somewhere. So we've come to a local place this time to eat near the market, and I think I'm gonna try alpaca a la plancha. Never eaten alpaca meat before. 35. They even have a guinea pig. I think that's like a speciality here. 70. What are you going for?
Maybe a soup.
Soup?
Yeah, I'm not very hungry.
Still got nausea.
Yeah, or maybe a lasagna, vegetarian.
So Carol ended up going for the quinoa soup.
Looks yummy.
Looks nice and hot. And my food's arrived, kind of different to what I expected. It looks like there's some berries on there. Yeah, so I think it is like berries or jam.
Never seen that jam with meat.
With meat.
Is it sweet?
Yeah, very sweet.
Okay.
I guess the meat's gonna be sweet then. Yeah, pretty tasty meat. I think it reminds me a bit of pork.
Oh.
Yeah.
It looks like pork.
Yeah, the color. Tastes a bit like pork too. It's pretty nice with the sweet hint though. Nice mix. I'm gonna put berries on my meat from now on. No, I really like it. It's really good.
Very plain, but that's what I wanted because of my stomach issues.
There's no garlic taste, no?
No.
Yeah, broccolis.
Yeah, broccolis, potatoes, zucchini, and quinoa.
Healthy. So we've now come to a convent called Santo Domingo, and the Spanish built this convent on top of a temple called Curicancha, an Incan temple, which was the biggest one in Cusco. So you can see the walls of this part look identical to the Incan walls that we saw before on that other road. So there are still some remains of the Inca temple, even though the majority of it is the Spanish convent now. So when the Spanish conquered the Incas, they actually captured the emperor of the Incas, and they demanded a ransom for his release. And apparently at that time, the Inca temple here was completely covered in gold, the walls, and it was the richest temple in the Americas. So the Incas ended up melting all the gold that was here to pay for the ransom, and then the Spanish didn't release him anyway, and they ended up executing him. So they took all the gold and still killed him. So this part's just mentioning the different kind of rocks that the Incas created. I read online that when the Spanish arrived here, they were super impressed just how like tightly fitted all the rocks were, how perfect they were. They said it was even better than the constructions that they had in Spain at the time. What's that, the Milky Way?
Yeah.
Looks
Trippy.
like it.
Trippy.
It says here that in the Andes, the Milky Way is called the Celestial River, Mayu. Unlike the Western constellations composed of groups of stars, they would actually see animals. So you can see an example here, like a llama, snake. You get some pretty nice views from the convent. We're going to be going to some viewpoints later on, and we'll get even better views of Cusco, but it is pretty cool already. Oh, check the writing there. Viva el Peru. So we can only show you about half of what there is to see here, because a lot of the museum areas you're not allowed to film or take pictures. So yeah, only if you come here in person you'll be able to see it. It was mainly more like paintings and things like that. And right now we're on the second floor of the convent. There are some paintings here though that you're allowed to film. I guess that's here in the convent. Looks like it with the tower. So it's the next morning now, and we've come to one of the most famous ceremonial sites here in Cusco, right near the city. It's called Sacsayhuaman. So there's two sides of it. There's this one here, which I think is the main part, and then there's another one over there. We actually just did a guided tour, but it was in Spanish, so I didn't really film it because I'd have to do too much translation when editing the video. But yeah, we got a lot of information from the guide, so yeah, we'll be able to walk around and tell you some of the things that he told us about. And the guy charged 60 soles for an hour, but we gave him 80 as a tip. And we got some wild alpacas here. Still not entirely sure how you know the difference between a llama and an alpaca, but the guy said this is an alpaca, so there you go. I feel bad for eating one of those now.
Yeah, I know.
They're so cute. The selfie. Yeah, they're such cool animals. Long neck, almost like a giraffe or something. Man, this one's extra furry. And the guy said that the jumper that I bought probably wasn't made from alpaca or llama because it was too cheap. It would be a lot more expensive if it was from their wool. Struggle?
Nowhere.
And we're actually still feeling a bit of altitude sickness even on the 4th day.
Yeah, we had like a kind of strong headache. It's usually during the night, and we usually woke up like short of breath. I think we are getting better.
Yeah, I think so.
The thing is that we're going to do a hike that's going to be a lot higher than this in altitude in a few days, so hopefully we can get used to the altitude.
Yeah, I think we should be good by then. So when the Spanish came here, I think they thought that this was like a fort. I mean, it kind of does look like a fort. They didn't know that it was just for ceremonial purposes. So we got like a natural slide on this side. Go on. Whoa. And this big circular area here, this would have been filled up with water during the time of the Incas. There's a canyon somewhere around here, and they had like a little water channel that would come all the way here. And there's like a little cave tunnel here that he told us to go into. He said we do need a flashlight though. Oh, it stinks.
Yeah.
Not being used as a bathroom again, has it? Like a secret passageway. Actually smells more like rats or bats. Oh man, I can barely see now.
You wanna go further?
Yeah, if you want.
I don't.
No? Yeah, now it's pitch black. Are you behind me, Carol?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see anything in here. Oh, there's another little pathway here. You can see daylight. Maybe we'll go through here then. So we're going to enter the main complex now. Look at the size of some of these rocks. I think that's the biggest one here. That one's absolutely massive too. The guide said that these rocks were brought from over there. Can't really see it on the GoPro, but you can see some like rocky mountain. And there would have been more rocks around here, but the Spanish used them for many of the buildings in the main city that we saw earlier. So it would have been a lot higher. So all this complex here was to worship the sun, or the sun god. And there's a cool part here that used to have a tower. The guys showed us some pictures showing them how the tower would have looked like. A lot more impressive than what you see now. Now it's just the base. And the Inca emperor at the time was called Pachacuti. Not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but yeah, he was the one that was around when all this was built. And that statue that we saw earlier in the square was him. So we found out who he was now. And it was actually under his leadership that the Inca Empire really expanded. And that was only shortly before the Spanish arrived. So they were here for hundreds of years before, but mainly just in this area of Cusco and Peru. They hadn't expanded that much. And here's another benefit of coming to this complex. Get some incredible views of Cusco from here. Pretty much the entire city. So that's the main square right here. I think we're staying over here somewhere. Oh, awesome. I can even see the airport.
Yeah, and the stadium, which is, not sure if it's a football one.
Yeah, there's a stadium there. Didn't know there was a stadium around here. So right next to Sacsayhuaman, we have a Jesus Christ statue, apparently from 1945. A Palestinian community made it that lived around here after the World War II. Basically the same view as before.
Yeah, it is. But here you have the Christ the Redeemer.
Yeah, the big white one, like in Rio. Looks identical. A lot smaller though.
Yeah.
The one in Rio is huge. So we're heading on our way back down to the main city now. We're just walking down because I think we're going to walk through one of the popular neighborhoods back there. Nice viewpoints there. Another church number 1000. Yeah, great views though. You can see the main square even better from here. Yeah, since everything's on a hillside, there's probably a million different amazing viewpoints around here. The psychedelic llama, or alpaca. Yeah, so we're trying to head to a neighborhood called San Blas. It's supposed to be a bit of like a bohemian hippie neighborhood. Maybe that's why there's already this artwork. I think it's over there somewhere. Also a million options of hostels and hotels to stay in. Rituales Inn.
And Cusco can be very affordable too. Yesterday we saw a hostel, and I think for the dorm room, for one bed, it was 20 soles, which is I think $5, so very cheap and affordable.
Yeah, definitely backpacker friendly. So we ended up going down, and now we have to go back up again. It's supposed to be some pretty cool restaurants in this neighborhood with some great views. It'll be a bit pricey, but I think it'll be worth it for the views. There's a million doggos in Cusco. I'm tired already again.
Me too.
My lungs aren't used to this. Man, imagine living up there. That's like 400 steps. Whew. No thanks. It's nice around here though. It's like a walking street. I don't think any cars come around here. Here's one of the restaurants. Nice views. So the place that we've come to is called Aura, if that's how you pronounce it. Got the nice views that we wanted. Got the cowboy music. That's funny, cowboy music in Peru. So going to close this video out now. It's getting dark. The main square gets quite a lot busier in the afternoon, but still pretty laid back. So the guy said there's just less tourists here right now, isn't there?
Yeah, I think before the pandemic it used to be a lot more busier with a lot more tourists, but after the pandemic and also after some protests
This year.
Political crisis in the beginning of this year, I think there's less tourists, unfortunately, for the locals, but we hope it's gonna be coming back soon.
Yeah, so we've been mentioning how laid back it is, and that's probably the reason. There's just not as many people here right now. So in the next video we're going to be heading to the Sacred Valley. That's going to be tomorrow, and yeah, just really looking forward to it. Been absolutely epic so far. Really loving this place, Cusco. Amazing city to come to. So if you like this video, just drop a like as usual to support us. Subscribe to see more videos like this. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and we'll see you in the next one.